Let's take a look at the results so far of what's happened. Team Void started off strong with Dog defeating Raynad 2-1, and then Jackie slaying Alley, just 2-0, brutal massacre. But, you know, Jackie said that he took the gloves off and said, you know, last week I gave the easy win with the Renounced Darkness. This week I wanted to take it seriously. And now Team Light, even though they were looking like they were bringing it back last week, they've lost the overall standings, but we have one final match for
bullshit decks,
for
bullshit RNG,
and for all the glories. Let's go ahead and meet the first player who's well known for winning. It's Thijs.
Yes, you are.
You know, Thijs, your team already had gotten the victory, so there's no pressure on you, right? All right, cool. Well, your opponent is Kripp, so let's go ahead and bring in Kripp.
Fuck you.
You mentioned in the very beginning of Oktoberbrawl that it was kind of hard to build some of those other slower decks because you didn't have as many cards. Now that you have more cards, do you feel like you have a lot more options, or do you feel just as restricted as you did before?
I know you guys are like watching me play, thinking I'm making decisions. I'm not. These games play themselves.
Gotcha. Well, so it sounds like Kripp's playing the long game. You're really trying to build the long-term decks because at TwitchCon, that's the win that really matters. So I'm looking forward to it. Good luck, guys. We'll see you guys soon, and we'll get this best of 3 underway here. I don't want to take too much time to analyze it because Kripp said
I need salt. Salt me up.
But I know that's what he loves. You know, Kripp's been on record saying multiple times that
I had removal of all kinds, board clears of all kinds, immunities, value cards, draws, buffs, fucking dragons to go with his dragon fire potions. Aconite, what? That guy had no bad cards. All insane.
Well, I feel like there's a big portion of Kripp's viewer base that enjoys denying him his happiness, you know, and things that that he desires, which is.
I'm getting so fucked by RNG.
So let's go into game number 1 here. We have Shaman versus Paladin.
That gives like Divine Shield. I can't remember the exact effect of it, but
wait, check this out. Whoa! Grime Street Outfitter, a hand buff, hits all these cheap minions.
Can I stop getting fucked on RNG?
Is often written off, and if you ever buff with a 2-mana card these days in Hearthstone, it's often because of Prince Keliseth.
Yeah.
Wow. You thought Shielded Minibot was bad on turn 2.
This is pretty powerful. Whoa!
Oh my goodness! Kripp opened a Death Knight.
Kripp's Shaman deck.
He's got Death Knights.
This is quite interesting, actually, and Feral Spirits is going to play pretty nicely onto this board. Tess is going to be able to trade over one of them, but it does contest everything and also protects the Mech Warper, which could allow for a powerful turn next turn with a cheaper Micro Machine and Stormforged Axe. I don't mind Kripp's position here, and Thrall of Deathseer could make for a pretty big swing because what a lot of these decks lack is wide board removal.
It's true.
You can get a board full of, you know, reasonably sized minions. It can be tough to remove them.
One of the most important things in sealed format that I've come to find in Hearthstone, through my limited time of playing it, is that area of effect cards are very rare. You might find removal in general, but AoE is a premium. So whenever you're playing Mage, like Flame Strike is really nice. But that's because you're opening packs in those environments. You know, Flame Strike's a basic card, so if you're able to level it up enough, you should be able to have it in your constructed environments as well.
Yeah.
I guess it also depends on what kind of role he sees himself being. If he wants to be the aggressor in the beatdown, it seems like he does. He's gonna aggressively stat the Clockwork Gnome, and then he's gonna be able to play his 3-mana cards with the next couple turns. Kripp will be able to remove a little bit of minions, but he has Fire Elemental now, so he actually has a couple of strong potential turns here with Fire Elementals, and if he has a big enough board, maybe even go for the Thrall Deathseer.
There's some more power turns for Thijs. He's scaling up the curve pretty nicely. If he gets to turn 7 with a minion on the board for Bone Mare, it's a big swing card.
Yeah, Minibot is super hard to remove. Divine Shield minion's extremely resilient, and you don't have a way to remove it easily.
And you know me, always so fucking lucky.
Too.
But
Okay.
actually,
Looks like he's gonna remove
okay, yeah.
Divine Shield. Okay, that was
Yeah, I
just
like this
interesting
actually.
sequencing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, oh, is he gonna swing at the 2/2 and Fire Elemental the 7/2? But
Some next level sequencing. I
Yeah.
don't know what just happened.
it's a little bit of a mix up there. And you know, the Time Rewinder is also pretty funny too, because Time Rewinder allows him to set up like either another mini bot with Divine Shield, or to save it for Peacekeeper, or even better, to Bone Mare one more time.
And one thing to note though is Kripp is going to Thrall Deathseer next turn, so
Oh, interesting.
he could, you know, play Totem or Stormforge Axe and then buff up this Fire Elemental. Would be an 8-drop, and 8-drops
Yeah.
are probably the most powerful
That's
slot
huge. That's huge.
for in Hearthstone. And he's just going to go for it. Looks like Stormforge Axe is
Yep.
going to play afterwards.
If
What he gets.
If you can just stick one minion and keep evolving it, it's going to be massive. Grommash Hellscream, that's a full board clear, and Kripp is going to be able to deny Thijs the Bone Mare.
See, we just got a little bit
Oh,
lucky. A little bit
man.
fucking lucky.
And
Wow.
no facial reaction from Kripp whatsoever.
And the emote comes out from Kripp. Cold blood.
Wow. Cold-blooded, cold embrace.
And he's got stuff to back this up. He's got a
Ouch.
Flaming Faceless in hand, as well as Direwolf Alpha. He's going to be able to keep picking apart the board. And now the Finicky Cloakfield is going to come out, and this will guarantee Bone Mare going into the following turn. But is it too late? Did
Poor
Kripp take too
Thijs.
much of a board advantage with that Grom picked up from the Fall Deathseer?
I'm literally losing to drooling noob right now.
Bone Mare can still land on a 1-mana target, but Kripp is running away with this one. He actually has a 2-turn lethal set up.
Yeah,
From
Thijs.
30. Oh! I did not expect that card. Oh, man.
But
Top
there is
fucking
still,
deck.
Is there any lethal possibilities?
Well, he can at
Trading
least
in?
trade over and not lose a 7/7, which is important.
Is Argent Commander into Direwolf Alpha? Is that enough?
Well, he needs something to deal 8 damage, and he can evolve it. You can evolve either of these targets, and they'd be viable.
Ice Howl?
Oh, that's
It's 10
right.
mana, isn't it?
Oh, is it 10 mana? I thought it was 9 mana.
If it's 9 mana, then that's a possibility. I can't remember that card was ever played.
Could be right. Aaron, if there's one way to, you know, really end the game against Kripp. Oh, no! It's a great 2-mana minion.
Oh no.
Wow. Thrall Deathseer.
Nice pull for Kripp, and
I
he
need
got
to
some
ask.
work done.
I need to ask him. Can we get Kripp and Thijs back on here on the desk? Kripp, I want to ask you, man, what was going through your head as you evolved your Fire Elemental into Grommash for the perfect Bone Clear and denied his Bone Mare?
Turns out if you get lucky while you get lucky after getting lucky and then getting lucky for the 4th time in a row, you win at Hearthstone. Wow.
Kripp, on a scale
Wow.
of 1 to 10, how much were you expecting Doomsayer from your Paladin Shredder?
9.
Ice with a Druid deck.
Yeah,
and
and
Kripp with Warlock.
There's a Warlock deck with Blast Crystal Potion, Hellfire, Refreshment Vendor.
It's Reno Warlock.
This is similar to the Reno Warlock that we used to see in the past, except League of Explorers is not available, so you don't have access to even get Reno Jacks.
I don't think it's... Is that a Sense Demons?
Is he playing Renounced Darkness? I don't know.
Your soul shall suffer.
Wow.
Maybe Kripp was converted by Jackie and said, you know what? I, too, wish to be on the front page of Reddit.
Yeah, we'll see.
But she doesn't really need to do much. But, you know, I was thinking that Thijs was playing like a token druid because he had like Fireflies and Spreading Plague and like this other stuff. But I wonder if Thijs is just playing Taunt Druid straight up. Because he's got Ancient of War as well. Oh, never mind. He's playing TGT Arena Druid.
That's right.
We know Kripp has a Jiraxis, but this Singleton deck does imply that he has like maybe the Kazakus available to him.
Yeah. it does
Wow,
look like-
Hellfire being tossed out. He sees Crypt Lord and he sees Wild Pyromancer. Oh, wait, he has two
Cthulhu.
Hellfires. Wait, no, he has two Hellfires.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a Cthulhu Druid.
It's a Cthulhu Druid. It's a ramp Cthulhu Druid. That's interesting. Cthulhu is given for free. Cthulhu is one of the free legendaries. I like the image from Omni Slash the other day where Oprah was throwing out free Cthulhuns.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool image.
It's very accurate.
Yeah, and a lot of the Cthulhu buffers are commons. And if you can open Twin Emperor Veclor, all of a sudden Cthulhu decks become really powerful. It gives you inevitability in a format where inevitability is hard to come by.
That was a cool play from Kripp, being able to set up a nice Defile Mortal Coil combo, but enabled by the Elven Archer. Something that you don't see all the time.
Yeah, looks like it's not a singleton deck.
No, he had two Hellfires, two Defiles, and two Potions. I think it's just a straight up control Warlock.
Yeah.
And he's gonna... Oh wait, does he have Blood Reaver Gul'dan too? Can Kripp be so fortunate as to open more than one Death Knight in 3 packs? There's just no way.
That one's tough. But it's going to be tough because Thijs, he does have some big threats to be able to play in the next couple turns, and he's got a ton of damage from hand with double swipe. So that may be something that Kripp is not expecting. While he has a ton of removal, this chip damage that Thijs is putting on could end up giving Thijs a little bit of an edge as the game goes on.
I don't know, though. There's so much removal.
Oh, there's a lot of removal.
There's Shadow Flames, Hellfires, Blast Crystal Potions, so there's going to be no single targets or wide boards that should be able to thread Kripp. And he also has Twisting Nether, by the way. Which, this is probably a good use of it. Depends on how he feels like his removal is, because he also has Jiraxis, and Twisting Nether Jiraxis with Jiraxis is insane too.
He's also got a lot of support for the Jiraxis as well, with Shadow Flame being a great tool because it's helping stabilize.
It's true. Oh, Primordial Drake! Look how much AOE. We mentioned how hard AOE is to come by.
He's 1 damage off lethal.
He's 1 damage off lethal, and Kripp's about to play Jiraxis, I think. So that's also why Kripp felt like he was able to play liberally with his health total, because he has Jiraxis, he can heal up to 15. You would always probably say, okay, fine, you had the cards, you win.
Yeah, I suppose.
Spreading Plague. Well, it turns out the nerf didn't do anything for this situation. He would have just played as a 5-mana 1/5. Look how much tempo Thijs is valuing at this point, and he is about to get crushed. This looks like a good Jiraxis opportunity. Right now, you have to first think and interpret, what does a Spreading Plague mean? You know, is my opponent trying to do something fishy here and try to, like, burst me down and I'm not even expecting it, like Savage Roars or anything else? Because he's seen Fireflies with Mark of the Lotus, and he's also seen Cthulhu.
Yeah.
So I like Kripp taking a little bit of a safer route here. Trying to make sure that there's no shenanigans Thijs can bring out here.
Double swipe does kill off the board, but that's Thijs' reach. He does have Norcia Kraken, and he would push 3 damage this turn, so Kripp would go down to 6. Norcia Kraken wouldn't be enough, so it looks like Thijs is going to save the damage from hand.
Yeah, and now because it's very clear that Thijs is saving up like big stuff, he can just remove. He doesn't even have to play any game anything. He can just exhaust Druid out of resources. Blast Crystal Potion, Refreshment Vendor, or anything along those lines. More than enough. Thijs is running out of options. He needs to draw his Cthulhu. Even then, it might not be enough.
Yeah, Cthulhu is not even that big right now. I think it's only a 10/10, and Kripp just got Blast Crystal Potion to deal with it, so... I don't know, Kripp looks like he's out of the woods. It's a pretty interesting control Warlock deck, I like it. It's basically just all removal, a couple of big bombs, and Jiraxis.
Ooh, the fail rate, so he does run it in his deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like because he can't efficiently get through these taunts.
Looks like he's trying to not go all in on Cthulhu, but rely on it to close out the game. Or some other big bombs that he has in his deck. I mean...
Well, it's time, TJ!
And Thijs knows, nodding his head.
Wow!
And again, 6/6s every turn, plus an entire hand filled with removal. Kripp looks like he's home free, and Bone Mare with just a Beckoner of Evil from hand to proc it.
No, but it's just so much removal, and it's been a while to get to this point.
Yeah.
But, you know, Kripp mentioned that it's hard for him to build control decks, but finally, by week 3, it seems like Kripp can be right at home. He's lined up with deck with all the removal spells. His entire hand is spells that kills minions. And he's got a hero power that's just going to summon non-stop 6/6. And I think Thijs has been locked out here. And Cenarius is a pretty good draw and a pretty good card.
It's not bad.
But I don't know if it's going to be enough. Everything else has been a mixture of tempo, aggro, and mid-range.
Yeah.
Just because that's the most value you can generate with like loose synergy. And this is the first deck that we've seen. It's come from Kripp where I feel like there's actual like game plan of stalling and not actually having to just rush your opponent down.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to build a true control deck in this format because you can't piece together the tools. But a lot of this removal suite from the Warlock are pretty easy to come by. Twisting Nether is an epic, but other than that, like Blast Crystal is a common, Shadow Bolt, and Shadow Flame's only a rare.
He could have dealt with 3 more waves of stuff with Shadow Flame, Twisting Nether, and Defile. Thijs is going to look for the Dream card to bail him out, but unless it's Yogg-Saron, he doesn't even have enough mana for that. Plays Bog Creeper, and that will do. That'll do, Pig. Kripp is going to 2-0 Thijs.
Dude, this guy must have played with too many fidget spinners to make that play.
I like to see that. That's a strategy that none of the other players have really gone with, and Kripp making it work. Pretty cool to see.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and bring him in for some questions. So, Kripp, I think that was the first time we've ever seen an actual control deck be played on Oktoberbrawl. Everything else has kind of been like a mid-range tempo or aggro version. So, what's it like, man, being the first guy to be able to bring it and then win with it convincingly?
I don't think you can play much better than I can.
Yeah, Thijs, going down 0-2. But, I mean, it seemed like your Druid also had a couple of crazy things going on for it as well. So now that Kripp's kind of put you and I guess the rest of the team on notice, you're going to be ready for week 4?
Yeah.
Drooling noobs will still win.
Nice games. It was cool to see a control deck, and good luck next week, guys.
Fuck you.
All right, so very cordial as always, and, Kripp doing what he does best, setting records and pretending he didn't get lucky. Let's go ahead and take a look at the results. I mean, he also built a really good Warlock deck. I want to tip my cap for that. This is, by the way, the standings for all weeks combined. Team Void kind of doing their parts. It's actually a team effort. That was the first loss Thijs ever received, as he falls to a 2-1 record. Kripp, by the way, kind of carrying Team Light and putting it on his back. Raynad, of course, 0-3, but as he says himself, he is the lightning rod for Team Light.
Yeah, he's sandbagging. He says it's all about the finals anyway. So I'm absorbing all of that bad energy, the bad luck, and when it comes finals time, be looking out for Raynad.
For sure. We're done for week 3 of Oktoberbrawl. We'll see you back next week for more Hearthstone action.